Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast. Thank you for listening today. Last week, we had a little bit of an electricity problem mishap at the Mendoza house. So we're happy to be back and we're so happy you're here.
Yes, welcome back to the Cozy Corner. Thanks for joining us. As Gabby said, yes, we had some electricity problems when we were supposed to record. The lights went out, no electricity, no Wi-Fi. And it's been weird because the past week is like that happened like 3 times. So who knows? They said the post was on fire. Like the electrical post got on fire, so they had to worry about that. And then there was a huge storm, and Edwin showed me a photo that a tree fell on top of another post. So it's been pretty insane, but I'm happy that everything has been good the past few days. So here we are, ready to record. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful Sunday, and I have my fresh cup of coffee in my hand.
Ooh, iced cup of coffee too.
Oh yeah, it's iced coffee. I normally drink hot coffee, but I bought creamer, so I was like, well, I gotta use it. So I made some iced coffee.
Love it.
So, it's been a tough week, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do highs and lows for this podcast, but I figured that I should, and it's a fun little segment that we like to include. So I'll go first. My high for the week, I started a new job. I think I mentioned it on the last podcast that I quit my other school and I got a job at a different school. So I started on Tuesday this past week, and I feel very, very, very grateful for this opportunity. And the people that I have met so far have been so great. And I'm very excited for this new journey. So that's my high. And as I mentioned, it's been a tough week. So my low is sadly, my mother-in-law's assistant passed away this past week. So of course that brings a lot of emotions in our hearts, a lot of sadness. So we've been going through that this past week. That's my low. But I'm happy to be here and have a great friend like Gabby to keep us inspired.
I love you. And for your high, I am so proud of you. I'm so happy that you're going to get new opportunities with this new school. And I'm excited to hear more about it as you go along. And as you know, we talked a little bit before we started recording, and my prayers are with you and your family. Loss is a really hard thing to go through. For my high, and it's such a joy. We, meaning me and Brett, we are now dog parents, and his name is Bandit. It's a rescue. And I literally am obsessed with him. They say when you get a dog, it like changes your life. And I know that's kind of like dramatic, but I mean, it's been about 2 weeks now, and it really has changed my lifestyle, which obviously, and then changes my life because everything now is going to I have to surround my plans around him. I signed him up for day school. I signed him up for
day school. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes, day school. It is. I think it's like a pretty well known thing with different cities and stuff, but day school is a place, or it's like a daycare for your dog. And because of COVID, they only have 5 to 6 dogs per day. So he can't go every like Monday through Friday. His designated dog day school days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I drop him off at between 7 to 9 a.m. and I pick him up between 4 to 6. And honestly, I think it's so healthy for at least my dog because I don't have any other dogs. I really want him to be engaged and like to have playtime with other dogs. And while doing that, they are going to have obedience training with that. Like they're going to teach him, recall, which means because he'll be, off leash within the park or whatever. And he'll be recognizing like, oh, when people call my name and they do this signal, like I need to come to them, and then, kind of leave that toy, but like, let's go over here, kind of just like recognizing and learning new things. I can only obviously do so much. So yeah, and Tuesdays and Thursdays will be nice that like, I can maybe go into the city or like do
Yeah.
something and know that he's taken care of. And then outside of that, I have like one-on-one training with this really awesome girl named Cindy here in Leander. Both of these places aren't in Austin. The trainings in Leander, and then the day schools in Liberty Hill, which is like 5 to 10 minutes away from me. So yeah, it's really
Awesome.
like when I was signing him up and talking to the guy, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm signing up my kid for school. He's like, well, dogs are your kids. And I was like, yeah, that is so true. So I feel like my immediate family, we didn't grow up with, well, I should say we didn't have long-term pets.
Mhm.
So my mom and dad, I don't even think they had pets growing up, like long-term pets, but me and my sister, we had a dog for like a year, I think, but I was too young to remember. My sister had like, I think she had some like fish maybe, and she had a
Mhm.
bird that she killed accidentally. So like I think my parents were like, our children are okay without pets. So I think when I told them like, hey, we're interested in getting a dog, they kind of didn't really believe it. I think a lot of people want a dog, right? They want to play, but I think the realities is a lot of people don't have the lifestyle for one. And so my dad actually called me just before we recorded and he was like, hey, so how's Bandit? Because I keep sending them pictures because I want my parents to know, like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, this is real. This is a thing. I'm happy because I think my parents might have been like, oh, she's going to regret it, and want to give it
Yeah.
back. But no, that's not the case, guys. So mom and dad, if you're listening, I love my dog. But yeah, so it's been a really nice high for like weeks to come. I think I can stare at him. He's so
Oh
goofy. He's pretty full grown. He's 70 pounds, but he's still such a
my
puppy.
gosh.
He is such a puppy still, though. He's so goofy. And that's kind of,
Yeah.
Brett and I are
Dogs
having
are
a great time.
dogs are such a joy.
Such a joy.
I'm excited for you.
I love it. I'm so excited. And I'm like also excited. So in a few weeks, we go to Vegas for my stepmom's birthday, which we're really excited about. And we're going to be putting him in an overnight where he goes to day school overnight.
Cool.
So that'll be,
That's good because
yeah.
I mean, with my family, they always have to find somebody like who's gonna take care of the
Okay.
dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll like
But
know the place. He'll be comfortable by then. So it'll be good. But yeah,
awesome.
that's been my high. My low, well, I've had like pretty personal lows, dealing with some like people close to me. I think overall, I just kind of want to do, and I think it's kind of in conjunction with like losing someone that's so dear to you and just that's that time. I just kind of want to like do a PSA on check in with your loved ones, people that you either think are struggling, or I read a quote once that said, check in. That said, don't forget to check in on your happiest friend. It said something like that, which kind of makes a lot of sense because I think
Mhm.
a lot of people project happy, happy, happy. I'm great. I'm successful. I'm this and I'm that. But you like don't know what they might be going through. So that's just all I'm going to say on that. It has been just, yeah, it's been a couple, like the past couple of weeks, I've really tried to just kind of put inner strength in myself, my mind, my routine, and Bandit's been like the joy to wake up to every day. So yeah, that's,
Oh.
that's what I'm gonna say about that. But going into putting strength and light to your day, we're going to be talking about inspiration. What is it? And where it comes from, and how to receive it, and how to know that you can live with it and you deserve it. Because inspiration comes in all forms. It's something that is so strong, but so fragile. It's so contagious, and it will make any dark place in your life enlightened. It can enlighten your soul. And speaking of soul, I didn't even mean to do that segue. The movies. So when this movie came out, I hope that everybody has seen the movie because yes, it's a cartoon and it's Disney and like you can have your thoughts on it. I don't watch that. I don't do that, but you need to check out Soul. Like And really, I've only watched it twice. Like, I'm not saying like I watch it every day, but like it's meaning behind life. I love the education it's giving kids and adults like me, because if you know, you know the difference between spark versus purpose. It's just like the best lesson. And my just 2 cents on it, if you haven't seen the movie or don't know anything I'm talking about, the movie Soul follows a guy who has this one goal to be the best musician ever, and he will do anything to do that one thing, because this is who he is. Being I think it's a pianist, right? He's a pianist. He's like, this is all I have in life. And he kind of, through events, he learns through a person that's never experienced life on earth, that spark is different than purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be your career, let's say. Your purpose doesn't have to be for just one thing. And I think for me, what I take from it is, especially being in a time of a lot of unknowns are in my life. I have a lot of unknowns for my future, and knowing that like that is okay. And like my purpose in life is just to be happy, to wake up every day, like just so grateful that I get to be alive today. So it's like warm fuzzies in my heart when I think of this movie. And I just think of inspiration, because it just reminds me that like money isn't everything. It reminds me that status, fame isn't everything. It reminds me that love is really the drive to inspiration. I think loving what you're doing, loving the people you're with. You know, I think so many times people sacrifice themselves for the environment, whether it's like, oh, well, I don't like these people, but I guess I'll go hang out with them. I don't really like to do this thing, but I need to do it to get money. Something around those lines. Hope you can read between my what I'm saying, but it's amazing. And it's just the instantly is what I thought of when we were writing the script for inspiration. What do you think, darling?
No, exactly. To be honest with you, I started watching that movie on Christmas Day. I think I told you this already.
Yes. You're like, I hated it.
No, I didn't hate it.
You fell asleep.
I was sleepy. Okay. No, but my other excuse is that it was in Spanish. Okay. So I was with my husband's family, so it had to be in Spanish. So I was just there. But anyway, I had to prepare the lunch and everything. So I never finished watching it, but you have inspired me.
Oops, got a call for my cousin Jade. What's up? Okay, I'm gonna text her as you tell me your thoughts.
Okay. But yes, I was saying that you just inspired me to watch it again. So I think I'll do that. Because I have heard a lot of really good things about it too, that it's a good movie and that it opens up your mind a little bit about life. So I'd love to watch it. What I want to like start off with is I want to read the definition of inspiration. So according to Oxford Dictionary, inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. It's a person or thing that inspires. Okay. It's really cool that we're doing this topic, because I want to talk about a group that I started back in college, and I called it Inspiration. So the reason is because when I left high school, or when I was in high school, I was I went to my church youth group every Sunday night. It was called Life Team. And we did different activities. They had us, they taught us, lessons from the Bible or from the Catholic Church and things like that. And that always left me feeling really good to start my week, because it was a Sunday night. And Sunday nights are always kind of those nights that you're like, what do they call it? Like the Sunday scaries, where you're like,
yes,
tomorrow's Monday, I don't want to go to work. But that or to school. At the time I was going to school. But so it always left me feeling very inspired to get on with my week and to have a good week. And so when I went off to college, I didn't have that anymore. So when I went off to college, I wanted that. So but we didn't have that. So I started it, and I was very grateful that I had people supporting me. And I call it inspiration because I left feeling very inspired to begin my week. So I wanted to do that for myself and also for people at my school. And I called it inspiration. So, but anyway, like Gabby said, inspiration comes in all forms and can be very different from person to person. But it is found in research at Harvard Business Review that inspired people share certain characteristics. It's recorded that inspired people were more open to new experiences and reported more absorption in their tasks, meaning they were actually involved and interested in what they're doing. So I'm going to give you an example. When I feel inspired to do the dishes, I'm actually enjoying it, right? So that's just a simple example about inspiration. I'm actually enjoying doing that task of washing the dishes. When I'm not inspired to do the dishes, but I have to do them, I'm doing them with like a bad attitude, and I do it very fast, so I don't do a very good job. And my husband gets mad at me when I don't clean the dishes very good. But I feel that inspiration comes in waves, and it can be something very little, like I just mentioned about doing the dishes, or it can be something very big about something making a huge life decision, right? So let's move on, and I want you to tell us, Gabby, what experience has inspired you recently?
Well, I have experiences that inspired me recently and really all the time. And I think a huge thing of I love, I think, yes, inspired people share certain characteristics, kind of like what you're saying. Inspired people usually are with inspiring people because you motivate each other. And I think literally me and you inspired me to by you having confidence in me to start this podcast with you. It literally, it continues. I have this flame of like creativity and joy, and we are so like similar. We share this love for this. So you inspire me all the time. Every time, you know, you write this amazing script, and you post awesome Instagram, and it's just like, wow, you're in this with me, like 100%. And we have miss, like, not even, I wouldn't even call it a mishap. We have life come into our way, like last week, and like, you knew 100% that I was like in it with you. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, we skipped a week, like you're horrible, whatever. Like, I just feel very inspired by us and our duo. And like, that just is really close to my heart. I just wanted to start off with that. Also, also something that has recently inspired me is I have a friend who, when I worked at Torrid, she was my boss, and her name's Tasha Gage. And her husband, I just recently kind of like started hanging out with her and her husband, went to go visit them in San Saba. They have a beautiful home, a beautiful family. And Brent Gage, her husband, he is a massage therapist. He went to school for it. He was working at different studios for it. And his big dream, he was talking to me about it, and his plans were literally to have his own studio. And just hearing him talk about it, I was like, y'all need to go do this. Like, and how she wanted to kind of help him because she has this managerial, I think that's a word, managing, past. And this was maybe 2 months ago. And I was like, y'all need to do this. Like, I love this. I think starting a business is literally so hard. And there's more people that don't do it than do it because you think, oh, well, I'm going to fail, so there's no point. So about probably a month ago, so like a month after I saw them, she sent me a Marco Polo, and she was like, hey girl, so we got a spot. They dove straight in, and they are 2 weeks in. He has appointments left and right. It's called, his studio is called Engage Bodyworks, and it's in San Saba. just them two running it, really him, because she still works her full-time job. And I am
Mhm.
just like, they just got an Instagram, and it's just things like that where I'm like, and also before I like continue, I was kind of, I was talking to her on Marco Polo, and they went to like a farmer's market, and how he sometimes dips into this like imposter syndrome, which everybody goes through that. I feel like even inspiring people, they get very like choked up, and they're like, well, not really. I don't really do that. But it's like, yes, you do. You do that, because you are you're a boss, you can do this. And I was giving him, through her Marco Polo, like this kind of pep talk of like, listen, like you can do it. Whatever people ask, like, oh, about this muscle, like, you have your schooling. I think it's very intimidating when you are your own person, your own boss. And they both responded with like, wow, Gabby, you just gave us so much hope by listening to us and not telling us like you're in over your head, blah, blah, blah. And it just felt so good, because they were like, we believe in you. We know that you've been kind of in this transition, and we just hope that you're just as happy doing whatever you want to do. Anyways, it was just like so overwhelmingly like positive. And I was like, you inspire me, Brent. Like Brent and Tasha are just, they're go-getters. They have nothing, they live like they have nothing to lose, because majority of the time people, they don't, if you do things with your heart and soul. So that has been inspiring lately. And another one, which I feel like is kind of like, we talk about her all the time, but it's my sister. She, I mean, being a younger sister to only one sibling, who's Mercedes Villarreal, she literally inspires me every day. Like I don't know. I feel like I can talk all day about her. So, doing what she loves doing, what, she's doing for school, for her hair. I love the way she inspires me to not worry about the small stuff. Don't sweat over people's opinions, the negative energy. She's just really good at being a big sister. And I don't know, I feel like you get it. And I guess I should have wrote down specifically on the script. She's going to be listening to this, and she's going to be like, Gabby, what are you saying? But anyways, she inspires me because she's just living her own D life. And then the last, but certainly not last, because there's so many people in my life that inspire me, but I can't do a full list right now, y'all. But I have to go with my boy, Brett Johnson. Okay, so the thing is I didn't think I would be this much in love with someone. Like, I really didn't think someone would love me as much as I love them, on a day-to-day level, a romantic level, a goofy level. Like, guys, I can be hella crazy, hella weird. And his patience inspires me. Brett has the most patience in the whole wide world. And he's just kind of like, it kind of gives me the same. I think I just usually surround myself with people that are just in it with me, like you, Darlene, like how I'm saying, you're in this podcast with me, like however hard it gets, however crazy it gets. Like, Brett is just in the relationship with me. Like, I feel so lucky. And I think I never, like, I truly don't take him for granted. And I know he doesn't with me. And life can get really hard with us personally, and having someone by my side, to see the ugly, to see the dark, to see the happy and the goofy, everything. Love is inspiring, so, and for people who haven't, we're going to be meeting them next week. So I'm really excited for y'all to meet Brett and Edwin. But for those people who are like, Gabby, Darlene, I have been waiting, girl, boy, I have been waiting for a really long time too. I was single for the longest amount of time, and patience, I think, and God just like brought us together. So anyways, I'm getting a little little long on my
Aw.
inspiring topic, but that is me.
Aw.
That's me. What about you, Darlene? What recently has inspired you?
Well, I just want to like backpack off on how, that you said that I inspire you. Ditto, 100%. You inspire me. Even just to like, if I see you share a photo on our secret fitness
Oh my
Instagrams.
God, yes. Me and Darlene have a secret Instagram.
It's not a secret anymore, right? But
Mhm.
on our fitness on our fit how do they call it?
Our fitness
Fitstagram.
journey, our fitness journey. Both of us have like this fitness journey Instagram that we only follow each other on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So and just little things like that. If I see Gabby put in a really good workout this morning, then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna do that too. She just inspired me. So yeah, it's
Thanks,
like
girl.
yeah, of course. And I mean, Gabby gave a perfect example. A lot of our inspiration do come from people. And so my inspiration comes from my sisters, comes from my parents, my husband, my friends. Any little thing that they do in their lives that makes them a better person is always inspiring me, right? It's always inspiring me to do what they're doing so that I can be a better person as well. And as Gabby, wait, sorry. Okay, sorry. And that's where I was going to talk about you. Gabby, as mentioned many, many times, you are someone who always is inspiring me to be a better person, to live a healthier, holistic life. So, but to be a little specific on like an experience that I have, well, on an experience specifically that's happened recently
Mhm.
is from my new fellow teachers. Like I mentioned, I started my new job this past week, so I was able to meet a lot of new people, new teachers, and they just seem so efficient in their work. So they inspire me to be a better person for my students. And, being a teacher is really, really hard. It's a hard job. And I think, especially in this time, well, here in Guatemala, we're still 100% online. So in this time, it's even harder being a teacher, I feel. But in the end, it's so rewarding. So it's nice to have those people that are going through the same thing, but that are able to inspire me to keep going and to keep working. So that's something specific in my life that's happened that has inspired me.
I love that. Guys, just like I'm just gonna do a note. It's kind of like partly intention, prequel is like really recognize who you're hanging out with, who you're inviting into your vibe, your life. And it's just so important. No, and like this is what I want to get. I am not saying you have to hang out with your version of successful people. That's not what an inspiration is. Inspiration is someone who loves tender, someone who has good communication skills with you, someone who is taking care of their body, someone's taking care of their mind. Like it, I think that's what's so crazy about inspiration to be this one way, because it looks so many different ways. So how do we get to a place of inspiration? That's going to be going into our second part here. You can literally find inspiration anywhere. Maybe you're in search for inspiration right now and haven't been able to find it. Here are some places you can find inspiration. Number one, what we've kind of touched base on is that you can find inspiration in people, like how I've kind of did a little mini list of my friends and family, and Darlene has done with her coworkers and her friends and family. It could be as simple as asking a loved one something they consider to be the most important thing they've learned in life, or asking someone you've seen today something that they're grateful for. For the part A of that, I think it's really important to get inspiration from your elders who are in, the last part of their, it sounds kind of gloom and doom, but it's beautiful. The last part of their lives are so beautiful, and you can soak in all the richness and inspiration they can give to you. And yes, like even a neighbor that you don't talk to that often, just like have these conversations, because you're going to probably surprise them and they're probably going to be really happy you asked, Another thing is you can join an organization of people. My friend Jacob, he's really big into kind of meetups and kind of like-minded people that you can feel inspired by activities that you'll like to do together. For him, it's running. Him and Tina, they be running miles and miles. Like they want to be inspired more with that community. They go out and do meetup groups. I've even thought about myself, like, what do I like to do? Maybe I can start a meetup group, things like that. Meetup.com. That's a little plug. There's so many possibilities.
Great, Gabby, thanks. The second one is another place to find inspiration is through nature. You can go on a nature walk and let your mind wander. Don't think about your worries of work or school. Just let the nature speak to you. Or maybe you can take your yoga mat to a local park and practice yoga, sit, meditate, listen to the sounds of nature around you. Another thing that you could do is at the park, why not spend some time with children, right? Because children are the ones that they're just living the life, right? And try and absorb their childlike nature with you throughout the day and the week.
Love that. Also kind of going with that, because I don't think we're going to ever really mention it. So when we say like hang out with people, you can be inspired by people. I think for my introverts out there that are like Gabby, Darlene, I don't really like to hang out with a lot of people. Like what Darlene was just saying, nature, yoga, meditation. My stepmom, she's a little bit on the introverted side, and she really has done so many great activities that have inspired her for her soul, her mind, through nature, yoga, meditation, and just kind of being alone, like in the kitchen, whipping something up. She cans, she does her own gardening, like that is super fruitful for the soul. So just wanted to kind of plug that in for my introverts, because me and Darlene are pretty extroverted. So that's kind of like together, we're both like all these ideas. So you can also find inspiration in possibilities. What does that mean? For example, you can immerse yourself into learning something new, get out of your comfort zone and see the different possibilities that could bring you joy. Or you can make a bucket list of things that you'd want to do for before the month ends or before the year ends. You can also create a vision board. We've kind of talked about this before. It can be really inspiring to kind of spot visually your goals that you want to have in your life. It's called manifestation, people, and it works. You can attend a conference or a retreat that brings you new opportunities and learnings. These things are super, super great. And it's like a way of having a little mini vacation, a staycation, a retreat. I love that.
Great. And in our podcast, we talk a lot about comparison, since both of us suffer from it from time to time. And I think social media is obviously a huge factor in those feelings. I have a suggestion for you. When comparison happens, right? It often comes with envy. You want to be where your friend is, or whoever you're comparing yourself to, right? You want to be where they are. So why not turning that envy into inspiration? Okay, same thing. Inspiration comes from people again, right? But going into that, the fourth place that we have a suggestion to find inspiration is through the internet. One resource that is super valuable and brings a lot of inspiration on the internet is through TED Talks. There are hundreds of videos with many different topics that you can explore and get inspired from. You can read a blog or articles about different topics and areas that you might be searching for inspiration. You can even search the internet to look for inspirational quotes. Search through Pinterest or Google. For me, when I have a friend or a family member who is feeling down, I like to go onto Google or Pinterest and find a photo of a quote that can bring them inspiration. Also, the last thing I want to mention is I love watching YouTubers on YouTube that have a very calming and inspiring aesthetic. I love Michelle Reed and Maya Lee. Their videos are so calming, and literally they always inspire me to clean my house or like to make it or to get my life together too. So it's nice to watch them. And also Tara Michelle is really great too. I love her videos. So inspiring things on the internet are always there.
Yes, when Darlene actually came to my house, her and Edwin visited before they went to Guatemala, you showed me, I think it's Tara Michelle.
It was Michelle Reed.
Michelle Reed.
The
Okay.
other
And
Michelle.
I still, yeah, and I love it. Just kind of backpacking off of your, she said backpacking.
We're backpacking off each other.
Backpacking on inspiration. I follow a lot of trash, but probably the person that I'm willing to say that is super inspiring, because I feel like even the people she mentioned, Darlene mentioned, they live their life and it's aesthetically beautiful, but they also are like, they talk to their viewers of like, go at your own pace, do you. And my person, and honestly, I don't even have a lot of things in common with this person, actually anything, but she's just such a good soul, is Ellen Fisher. She's from Hawaii. She's a vegan mom, and her videos just calm the heck out of me and inspire me. The last one is finding, why is everybody calling me this morning?
So popular.
That's my mom now. And my phone's on do not disturb, but I think because my mom's on my favorites list, it goes. Anyways, thanks mom for calling, but I'll call you back. The last one is finding inspiration in yourself. Ta-da! Literally, guys, you can inspire yourselves. Do not write yourself off. You can disconnect from the world and write in a journal your thoughts, your feelings, your prayers. You can give yourself a pressure-free day by doing nothing and only that thing or things that you enjoy. You can also read old journal entries, which is something I like to do because I love to see where I was. I mean, even my journal goes back to when I got it when I was 17. And just, it's so beautiful to see your self growth, because what I did 10 years ago versus now, like who knows what I'm going to do 10 years to come. Also with that, you can do blog, Facebook, Instagram, kind of just like go reaching back and being like, wow, I love myself, like my old self, my baby self, you know, watching an old YouTube video that you posted years ago, things like that can be really nice to reflect on, and reflecting on everything you've learned in life so far and how you've made a difference in others' lives. I feel like another kind of little bullet I want to talk about is, and it kind of goes with my low when I was kind of being cryptic, because I don't really want to give out too much personal information on people, but you do not have to apologize for existing, even if it's by yourself and you're lonesome. If you feel like you're a burden on people, like you need to reach around yourself, give yourself a hug and be like, I am a beautiful light of existence. And like, I am not perfect, and that is okay, because no one's perfect. And, you know, just I feel like for me, especially during like the darkest times of COVID, where I was just socially impaired and everything, I would kind of watercolor. And guys, I am no artist, but like just seeing myself in action, doing something light and soft, just for nothing, no reason at all, was really helpful for myself, and knowing that like I'm still existing, I'm breathing, and I deserve this life. So it can get pretty deep. Inspiration can get pretty deep. And that's why we're the Cozy Corner, because you came here to talk real stuff, or to listen, really. So now for the intention of the week. We've just given you many examples and ideas on how you can find inspiration, but for this week's intention, we want you to use one of those methods to be inspired.
Let us know which method you did, or which method that you're going to do, and let us know how it goes. Or if you have any other ways of finding inspiration, we'd love to hear those from you too.
We hope you all have a wonderful week where you're able to feel inspired by the things around you. Heart emoji attached.
That includes our podcast for today. Check out our channel for past episodes, and don't forget to subscribe for future ones.
You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or even watch us on YouTube now.
We'd love it if you left us a review to let us know what you think. Or you can catch us on Instagram at the.cozycornerpod, or send us an email at thecozycornerpod@gmail.com.
Thank y'all for listening. Oh, my mic over there.
It's going away.
Going away. I think my boo pushed it. Thank y'all for listening. We're wishing y'all a wonderful week again, and catch you next time on the Cozy Corner. God bless. Take care. And adios, amigos.
amigos.
OMG.
Perfect time.